Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to New Britain High School and the Charles Chickshea Gymnasium for tonight's girls varsity basketball game between the Avon High School Falcons and your New Britain High School Lady Canes. Here are your starting lineups for tonight's contest. For the visiting Avon High School Falcons, a sophomore guard number 5, Sophie Mango. A sophomore guard number 22, Lindsay Ericoni. A sophomore guard number 23, Jocelyn Powers. A junior forward number 24, Ashley Blackmore. And a freshman center number 41, Addie Standish. Head coach is Drew Foucher. His assistants are Scott Parkinson, James Connolly, and Will Briscoe. The Falcons are 2-5. For your Lady Canes, a senior guard number 3, co-captain Maya Slick. A junior guard number 12, Adriana Faenza. A senior forward number 21, co-captain Kaylee Lee. A junior forward number 24, Jamiley Carter. And a junior guard number 34, Layla Makia. Head coach is Meryl Piper. Her assistants are Simone Roberts, Mike Jones, and Chris Williams. The Lady Canes are also 2-5. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise, kindly remove your hats, as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, sports fan, and welcome to Chickshea Gymnasium for a Thursday night matchup between the 5-2 Avon Falcons and the 5-2 New Britain High School Lady Canes. I'm Jarrell Hargraves here, along with my partner, Ryan Lipinski.
Hey, Jarrell, we got two teams here today, both 2-5, both coming off of losses. Avon coming off a loss to Bristol Eastern, 49-37, and New Britain coming off a loss to Plainville. So both teams looking to bounce back tonight.
Absolutely, they are looking for that bounce back after only winning 2 games apiece. This should be an interesting one coming for us tonight.
Yeah, interesting thing about Avon, no seniors as the starters. A lot of very young team, so all their starters coming back next year.
That should be a promising future for Avon as they move forward. We have Jamiley Carter on the jump alongside Ada Standish, and the ball goes out of bounds. They will re-jump.
And the key for New Britain today are their two co-captains, Maya Sliz and Kaylee Lee. Going to need a big game out of them if they're going to win this one.
And the ball goes out of bounds again. It looks like it was the last touch by Avon, so New Britain will get the first possession today. 9 seconds off the clock. They're just trying to clear up the arrow to make sure everything is correct for the arrow.
Very slow start to this game.
Yeah, it's always interesting when someone doesn't gain possession on the jump ball.
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff happened, especially last game with the spitting out the gum just in the middle of the game.
Oh yeah,
That was a
we
funny
didn't
scene.
Stop the game. So we're here, Maya Sliss. She just had 16 points in that previous game against Plainville, leading the Hurricanes. And points.
Good game overall, just bad fourth quarter shooting by the whole team, especially Maya Sliz. So they're going to need a big fourth quarter out of her and her whole team tonight.
Adriana Faenza with the ball. She's pushed. And Adriana was not with us
She was not. I don't believe she was.
on Monday night, so it's a good addition that the Canes added her in the lineup, in our starting lineup tonight. And she couldn't get anybody, so she bounces off the back of the Avon Falcon.
When in doubt, always look for an opponent's back. Hopefully keep possession.
Yeah, especially when that 5 seconds is gone and you see that ref chopping. She passes into Sliz, who gets fouled.
Second foul under a minute into the game. So very quick start for the Canes.
Good quick start. Right now, Maya Sliz was fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2 points.
Number 3, Maya Sliz, shooting 2.
And her first free throw is good.
And we saw that a lot in the last game. Poor free throw shooting for both teams, and especially New Britain. They're going to need to tighten that up tonight.
Yes, free throws down the stretch. They were not able to finish on those free throws, and that could have cost them the game against Plainville.
It did. They totaled, I believe it was over double-digit missed free throws. And those double digits could have been the difference between a 12-point loss and a 2-point win. So very important for them to make their free throw shots.
Well, that's very good. Maya Sliz makes her first free throws. Avon with the ball for the first time this evening. And they're passing the ball around the perimeter. Ball is slapped away by Maya Sliz. Avon will retain possession.
Very aggressive defense by the Canes.
Avon looks to the middle, back out.
New Britain seems to be in a 2-3 zone coming out.
And the ball to Ada Standish, who gets Avon's first 2 points of the evening.
Addie Standish, leading scorer in last time's game, a freshman, had 16 for Avon.
16 points against Bristol Eastern she had on Monday night. As Maya Sliz goes down, she misses it. Rebound by Jamiley Carter. She also misses the layup, and Avon gets the ball back. Sophie Ming with the ball is driving it in. Swatted away, picked up by Jocelyn Powers. Looks to the corner to Ashley Blackmore for 3, no good. Rebound by co-captain Kylie Lee, passes it to Sliz.
New Britain taking their time here, not trying to force anything, trying to get into a set offense.
Adriana Faenza on the shot there, no good. Britain playing very aggressive D at the top.
They are, and no fouls up to this point either. So being very cautious with their hands, but also playing very aggressive defense.
Sophie Mango looks for an open man. Swinged it to Jocelyn Powers. Back to Mango. And the shot is by Jocelyn Powers, and she makes it. So it's Avon on top. Sliz with the ball. Moves it around. Shot is for Layla Mejia. And there's a foul.
And as a defender, that's the last thing you want to see. Other than a made three-point and one, or was that an offensive foul? Oh, my
It
part.
was an offensive foul.
I thought it was a defensive foul. My mistake.
It looked like it should have been defensive. They ruled it offensive. I didn't see exactly what happened there. But that's New Britain's first foul of the evening. It's an offensive foul. Pass the ball into the middle to Ada Standish.
Quick 4 points out of her.
Sliz to the middle for a bucket. No good. Off the mark. Off of Avon. New Britain will retain possession. Finds it, passes into Sliz. It is blocked. Block is made by Standish. Into the middle to Sophie Mango for an easy 2-point lay-in.
Avon being very aggressive inside. No three-pointers made thus far. Only layups and short mid-range field goals.
Yeah, 6 of those points coming into the paint early on. New Britain struggling to get its first field goal of the evening. Their only 2 points is on free throws as they pass it in to Jamiley Carter, who does get his first field goal of the evening. And we will go for a mass break at this time. The score is 4-8. Avon is up. And we're back after the mass break. Avon has the ball. New Britain is going to try with a full court press here.
We saw that a lot last game. They came out with a press early. It wasn't working for them, so they had to go back in a man.
And they leave a man open. Down easy is Ashley Blackmore with the basket and the foul.
Something Coach Piper might have to address. 3 straight possessions, they got the ball inside. So they're going to be looking to see if they need to change that press or if they need to make some changes.
Blackmore goes to the line for 1 shot. No good. Rebound is by Jamiley Carter. Adriana Faenza passes it to Maya Sliz. She takes it into the paint for a layup, but it's no good. Off the mark. Avon with the ball. And New Britain breaks it up. Recovered by Layla Mejia.
First turnover of the game for either team. Very clean game up to this point.
And that's Ada Standish with another block for Avon.
I believe that's her second block up to this point.
And Sliz will be called with a kickball violation.
New Britain seems to got out of that 2-3 zone as they were playing previously.
And it looks like they're manning up.
Coach probably wasn't too happy with all the inside shots that was coming.
Shots made Ashley Blackmore. Off the mark, no good. Rebound Hurricanes. Sliz looking to set up a play. Passes the ball around. Jamiley Carter to Faenza. And Foul is called on the floor.
New Bern being very aggressive in this first quarter. A lot of attacking inside, hoping to draw the foul and possibly even make the N1.
Yeah. The basket don't go in that time, but it didn't count because the foul was before the shot, unfortunately. Pass broken up, but then quickly recovered by Layla Mejia. And the foul's on the floor. Fouls on Jamiley Carter.
That's her second, team's third.
I saw a lot of this last game, a lot of crashing the offensive glass. It was working for them for most of the game, and Coach says she's hoping to implement it in this game as well.
Absolutely. Canes is playing his press pretty well. Definitely slowing down the Falcons, and it's nearly stolen, but it's quickly recovered by Sophie Mango. A lot of action going on, and they will rule a jump ball. And Avon will receive the first jump ball of the evening. And Avon is hit with an illegal screen. Fouls on Ashley Blackmore.
Her first and the team's fourth.
Still 4-10. New Britain has only one field goal on this evening so far, with just over a minute remaining in the first quarter.
And you know, one positive up to this point, as Layla Mejia makes the N1.
Layla Mejia with the basket and a foul.
As I was saying, a lot of in the previous game, that had over double-digit turnovers throughout the whole game, and the majority of those were in the first quarter. So no turnovers thus far for New Britain. Hasn't really emphasized on the scoreboard, but it's always a good sign if you're not turning the ball over.
That can also be promising, as long as they can get some baskets made and take care of the ball on the offensive end.
Definitely, definitely.
Avon works the perimeter. Just under a minute remaining in the first quarter. Passes it into the middle to Macy Gill. Stolen by Maya Kelly. Faenza with the ball. Passes it to Sliz. Mid-range shot, no good. Rebound is by Maya Kelly. Passes it to Layla Mejia, who gets again. That's her second straight bucket for the Hurricanes.
In the exact same spot as your previous one. Little short elbow jumper on the right side.
Avon pushing it up, looking in the middle to Mason McGill, but quickly broken up by Kaylee Lee.
It's great hustle by Kaylee Lee, running the length of the floor and tipping that pass so they can't get it inside. It's great play by her.
Avon with the ball, 18.3 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And the ball hits the backboard, and that's a... She gets to throw it in again. Shot by Jocelyn Powers, no good. Sliz with the ball, they're gonna look for one shot with 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Looks to the corner. Faenza to Maya Kelly, and the shot is no good. So at the end of the first quarter, we have a score of Avon 10, New Britain 8. Avon 10, New Britain 8.
Yes, and very good free throw shooting so far for the Canes. 2 for 3 in that first quarter. So hoping to keep that consistency, throughout the remainder of the game.
Yeah, that's definitely important. And we'll be right back at the start of the second quarter. Start of the second quarter. New Bern Hurricanes will get the ball first.
And a little note about that first quarter. No three-point shooting for either team in that first quarter. So neither team settling, and that's always a good thing to see. Of course, you'd like to get your three-pointers going, but it's always good if you can get baskets inside.
Absolutely. Points in the paint, higher percentage that you're going to make those shots. New Britain being very patient here on offense, as they have been. Britain continues to move the ball around. There's Layla Mejia getting into the paint.
And
She shoots, but it's no good.
And the one thing you noticed about high school is there's no shot clock. So that possession took over 40 seconds for it to develop. So there's no rush when you're on offense. And I feel like that's a great thing to do when you're in high school. It's a little bit of an adjustment when you get to college or obviously the pros. But it's good for offenses trying to set up their offense. They don't feel like they have to rush.
Yep, no need to rush. Get your play off, and sometimes it allows teams to eat up the clock when they really need to.
Definitely, like I've seen clips all the time of people.
Yeah, and a steal by Kylie Lee brings it into the paint for the foul. Basket is no good, but she'll go to the line for two. Fouls on number 24, Ashley Blackmore.
Kaylee Lee's been playing great defense this whole game, getting up and down on the floor, and that steal right there.
With this one possession game, we can tell that those turnovers are going to be key, and free throws are going to be key throughout this game.
Definitely, New Britain's winning both of those battles. 2 free throws compared to none, and 0 turnovers compared to 4 for Avon. So far, it just hasn't repeated itself on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they just got to translate that into points on the board. The first free throw was missed by Kylie Lee.
Kaylee Lee. The girls gave us a little pep talk before the game about mispronouncing some of their names, so we got to make sure that we're on point with that one.
Kaylee Lee misses both.
I had to take the earful for that.
Yeah, I definitely heard them there before the game. But it's good that they have the opportunity to go back and watch the films, you know, right after, when typically they wouldn't have that opportunity to see where they can make improvements.
Definitely, especially like I know for my spring sports, they don't really have we can't really go out and get clips of our game. It's kind of just a recap of how we thought the game went. So it's good for them to have their entire game on film. They kind of break it down and see what they need to work on individually and as a team.
Yeah, that's 2-point shot by Kaylee Hill, no good. And the ball was held, and we do have a jump ball. Avon will get possession of the ball. And New Britain gets a foul on the play. Fouls on number 21, Kaylee Lee.
Both teams have to be careful here getting to the penalty. Avon a little more so than the Canes. 6 fouls compared to 4. I believe it's 1 or 2 more fouls, and New Britain will be in the bonus.
Yep, they'll go to the line for 1 and 1 with another foul.
Another steal by
Still
Kaylee
by
Lee.
Kaylee Lee. Yep, she looks up, passes it to Adriana Faenza. New Britain still down by 2. Not rushing anything on offense, taking their time. Shot by Kaylee Cahill. No good. And it rolls out of bounds, and Avon will get the ball.
If I'm not mistaken, it's either the first or the second 3-point attempt for either team thus far.
Yeah, not many 3-point attempts. Actually, probably not that many shots taken. I think they're really taking advantage of looking for the best shot that they can take this evening, as well as some of the turnovers and fouls. We don't see too many field goals happening today.
Yeah, definitely. Avon has 5 turnovers up to this point. However, only 2 of them have resulted in points. So New Britain's getting those turnovers. They're just not capitalizing on the offensive end.
Yep, ball rolls off the foot of Maya Kelly. Avon will retain possession. Looks to Jordan Platts into the middle. Shot no good. Rebound by A.D. Standish. She gets it.
The freshman with about 4 or 5 offensive boards already in this first half. Clearly the tallest player on the court is helping her in that situation.
Shot by Layla Mejia. No good. Mango passes it to A.D. Standish. Back in the middle to Standish. She's right there for the layup. No good. Rebound by Layla Mejia, but it's stolen by Sophie Mango. And another steal by the Hurricanes. Nevaeh King with the ball on there.
You could see Avon trying to get it to their freshman a lot down low, trying to take advantage of her size and strength against the defenders for the Canes.
They have been, and there's Maya Sliz. Gets right in for a left-handed layup.
That's her first field goal of the game.
Oh, and the shot is blocked. What a block made by Kaylee Cahill. Swats the ball right out of the hand of Jordan Platts.
As we've been talking about, New Britain being very aggressive on the defensive end, getting back for steals, blocks, all sorts of commotion going on down low.
Have been aggressive in the paint between steals and blocks and fighting for the ball. As you see in that last possession, there was like 3 turnovers, all back to back to back. New Britain gets the ball, they lose it to Avon, but they get the ball right back.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that I'm sure Coach preaches to them is just be aggressive. You know, it's okay to commit a foul here and there, but as long as you're being aggressive on the offense and defensive end, you're always going to get rewarded with fast break points and lots of turnovers.
Yeah, and it does show. With their 4 fouls compared to Avon's 6. But Avon still maintains the lead, 12-10. It has been a pretty close game. It's pretty much been a 1-possession or 2-possession game throughout this entire half so far.
Yeah, it's also been a very fast game. I don't think there's been timeout called for either team other than those mash breaks 4 minutes into the game. So very quick, very fast-paced game going on so far.
Off the foot of Maya Sliz.
I believe that's like the 4th kickball violation we've had.
Yeah. Feet have been active as well as the hands, huh? Avon gets the ball in the backcourt. Jocelyn Powers, she goes for the layup. It's no good. Rebound. Maya Sliz with the ball. She goes right into the paint, but is blocked by Standish.
Surprised there wasn't a foul called on that play. Very aggressive down low.
Well, the foul was called right after that on Adriana Faenza on the Canes. She's called with the hold. And that's the Hurricanes' 5th foul of the half.
New Britain staying in that press so far throughout the entire first half.
Avon breaks the press, looks down low to Standish, the freshman. She misses the first. She gets her own rebound, goes up again, misses it. Rebound by Nevaeh King. Alexandra Silva on a shot, no good.
You can see the court vision on the play from Maya Sliz. Cross court, sees her teammate open for the 3, wasn't able to drain it, but it was a great look by her.
That was a great look. And then Maya Sliz again on the steal. She gets in, draws a foul in the basket. And Sliz has a chance to get a 3-point play here after the steal.
Yeah, Maya Sliz has been aggressive all night and this whole season, so she's definitely going to be rewarded one of these days with a few and ones. It's good to see her staying aggressive.
Yes, she ties the game all at 12 with a chance to take the lead. And it's no good. Rebound is made by Silva, who gets it into the bucket for another 2-point shot by the Hurricanes.
As we've been talking about, being very aggressive on the offensive rebounds is going to turn into very quick points for them on the offensive end.
New Britain sticking with the press. Avon getting the ball into the front court. Swinging it around. Looks to Standish in the middle, broken up. Pass was broken up by Kylie Lee, whose hands has been very active during this game.
That's already her third steal of the game. Great defense by her, and eclipsed 8 turnovers so far for Avon. Being very aggressive on the defensive end.
Sliz with the ball. And she just takes a shot, looks for 3, and it's good.
First three-pointer made for either team this game.
You know, she couldn't find anything going. She said, you know what, I'm just going to step back, and I'm going to shoot this 3. She shot it, and she made it.
You know, one thing coaches say all the time, shooters are going to shoot. You see it that time, not being afraid to shoot it, just going to keep shooting it until you make it.
Looking for Standish down low, gets the ball stolen. But Avon's able to get the ball back and retain possession.
Very clean game for New Bern so far. No turnovers. It's almost the end of the first half.
And that was a foul on the call by Blackmore, against Blackmore, I believe. Blackmore with the rebound. Into the paint. Mango, no good. Rebound, Nevaeh King. He gets the ball to Layla Mejia. Pass it in the corner to Kaylee Cahill. And we get another 3-point shot by the Lady Hurricanes.
Back-to-back three-pointers by the Canes. Starting to come alive from the three-point range.
And the Canes are on an 8-0 run going into the end of the second quarter. Or actually, correction, a 10-0 run.
Even better.
New Britain down this little 10-0 stretch has been showing aggressiveness on defense.
Yeah.
They're getting the steals where they need to. They're breaking up passes down low. They're containing Standish, who at the beginning started off the game with early points. They found some ways to adjust in order to cut down those points and put a man in her face.
Definitely. I'm sure Coach Piper's very pleased with their effort on the offense and defensive end. I'm sure the Avon coach has to be telling them, slow it down, eliminate the turnovers, and they should be able to get back into this game. It was only a 2-point game a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that was a quick turnaround. New Britain up 20-12. And we must say, for the first time this season, we have our New Britain High School cheerleaders in our stands here cheering on the Lady Hurricanes tonight.
Yeah, you can just feel a little different presence going on this game. A little more commotion from the fans, because there's only so many nowadays.
Absolutely. Under a minute remaining in the first half. Avon has the ball. New Britain is going to stake with its full court press. Avon swing the ball around, gets over half court, and a foul is called.
Got to be careful here in this last minute. Don't want to get too many more fouls, or else you'll put them at the bonus for a few free throws.
Fouls on Layla Mejia. Definitely got to be careful on that sideline. Any contact that will make him go towards out of bounds. The ref is going to call that a push every time. Ball's passing to Maya Hill. She steps over the line for a backcourt violation.
Avon now at double-digit turnovers, 6 for this quarter.
Layla Mejia with the ball, pass it to Cahill. To Zandra Silva for a shot, no good. Ball is saved by Kylie Lee, but it is recovered by Ashley Blackmore of Avon. Brings it down the floor. To Mango, she gets it to the paint, kicks it out to Blackmore. Blackmore shot, no good, off the mark. Rebound by Nevaeh King, and she is fouled. Foul is on Sophie Mango, and New Britain will go to the line for 1-1.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Got to be careful on the defensive end. Only 20 seconds remaining. The last thing you want to do is send them to a line for a pair of free throws, or in this case, a 1-on-1 scenario.
And if you look down the past few minutes, Nevaeh King has been crashing the rebounds. She has about 3 rebounds on the last 3 missed shots. So when you do that during the bonus, you're going to get fouled. You're going to get your team to the line.
Definitely. And And that's if anything's going to get you more minutes, it's going to be being aggressive on the offensive boards and helping your team get to the free throw line.
She makes her first, so she will get another shot. And she makes them both. New Britain expands its lead. 14-0 run, New Britain.
Avon's going to look to get one clean shot here before the half.
7 seconds remaining. Shot is by Blackmore. Shot is no good. Rebound. Kaylee Cahill. And that's the end of the first half. The score is New Britain 22, Avon 12. And New Britain finishes that first half with a 14-0 run.
Yeah, you could see offense turning into defense in that scenario. A lot of steals, a lot of blocks, a lot of commotion going down in the paint, not letting anything easy inside, and no turnovers up to this point either for New Britain. So we were just talking about that in the first quarter, about how no turnovers are going to lead to good things happen for your team offensively, and that's a pretty good showing right now.
Yeah, more turnovers equals more chances to shoot the ball. More chances to shoot equals more chances to score. And as you can see, Avon, they did pretty good. They were able to get the ball in the paint, but they just could not make the shots going down the stretch.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of looks inside for their big center, and they just couldn't capitalize on those extra possessions. A lot of offensive rebounds for the freshmen, and just wasn't able to make those layups. I'm sure that's something the coach is going to emphasize for them in the break.
Absolutely, layups are an important part of the game, and I'm sure that's some of the things that Avon will be looking at to try to improve. New Britain, I'm sure that the coach will be telling them, hey, continue to protect the ball, continue to play good defense, and continue to take good shots.
Yeah, I think one thing she's going to tell them is just stay aggressive. Like we were talking about, they're being really aggressive on both ends, and that's turning into a lot of fast break points and a lot of easy shots for the Canes. So if there's one thing that he's going to emphasize for them, is going to be stay aggressive and get good looks.
All right, Canes with a 10-point lead going into halftime, and we'll be right back with you at the start of the third quarter. Welcome back to Chick-fil-A Gymnasium for second half action here for the Lady Canes versus the Avon Falcons. New Britain gets the ball first. Shot is shot by Layla Mejia, and it is good. And New Britain continues its run going from the first half, now 16 straight points. And New Britain with a good defense, Layla Mejia with the ball, and she gets the shot in the foul.
Quick possible 5-point swing for the Canes. Again, one of the keys to the second half is them staying aggressive on the offense and defensive end. You see that really working for them. And one of the things for Avon is just make layups. They had a lot of offensive rebounds, especially out of their freshman center, but they just weren't able to capitalize, missing a lot of easy layups. So they're going to need to correct that if they're going to get back in this game.
Yes, they will. Layla Mejia on fire to start this second half with a quick 5 points. And New Britain will retreat on their press. Maya Sliz meeting Jocelyn Powers right at the half-court line.
Yeah, and that's a good call by Coach. You can see that press was working a lot in the first half, but something that was resulting was just a lot of easy layup attempts. And as the three-pointer is made.
Three-point shot made by Lindsay Aragoni.
That's the first three-pointer for Avon this evening.
And that was good. They had to break that run that New Britain was going on. Just seeing the ball fall is always good. Layla Mejia with the three-point shot is no good. Kylie Lee tries to save the ball, but she steps out, and Avon will get the ball. New Britain coming back with that force again.
Yeah, I guess the one of the things in the halftime report was not to get a little less aggressive, staying aggressive here.
And the ball is broken up by Maya Sliz. And Avon will retain possession. Ashley Blackmore. She shoots, no good. Out of bounds to New Britain. And we have a kickball violation on Maya Sliz as she breaks up the inbound.
Avon player having to go all the way behind the bleachers to get that ball.
It's always the who's going to get it. I remember when I ref, I'm like, I'm not the one. You guys are all younger than me.
And as a player, we were just the same way. We're not getting it. We got a game to play here.
Mango with the shot, no good. Standish gets the rebound, and she gets a two-pointer.
And I'm sure that's one thing that Coach emphasized for her. They're really trying to look for her on the offensive end. And one thing she probably preached to her was just make her layups. A lot of missed layups for them, and that cost them a few points.
Sliz gets the ball, look for a man. There's nobody there, so Avon gets the ball. Powers with the shot, no good. Avon retains the ball. Standish at the top of the key. Looks to the middle to Mango. And she throws the ball out of bounds, and New Britain will get the ball. And that's another turnover by the Falcons, in which they need to start working on avoiding.
Definitely, already up to 11 turnovers so far throughout the game, and like we've been talking about, New Britain being very clean so far in this game. No turnovers. It's a great sign for them.
By Angel with the long shot, no good. Rebound is made by Jamiley Carter. That's no good. Avon gets the ball after it rolls out of bounds. Or Jamiley's actually called with a foul.
And now on the court for Lady Canes, number 42.
And Coach doesn't want her to pick up too many fouls here. Already her third personal foul at the start of the second half.
And Jamiley did want to reiterate that she is not related to the senior on the varsity boys team, Justice Carter.
Yeah, that was my question in the last game against Plainville. Just wondering if there was any family similarities, if they were related at all, and it turns out that she's not related to it.
And that was confirmed as New Britain gets the steal.
A lot of stuff was confirmed before this game.
Sure was. Maya Sliz with a three-point shot, no good. But Standish is called with a kick as she tries to go pick up the ball. New Britain ball. Looks to the middle. That's Maya Sliz for an easy 2-point bucket.
And you know, one thing I haven't really experienced so far, because I haven't played my season yet, but how does playing with masks affect kind of how they breathe and stuff like that?
You know, I could only imagine because I know it's even difficult standing here with the mask on trying to breathe. So kudos to the people out there, and I'm glad that the CIC allowed these athletes to get that mask break every quarter, so at least they get a chance to breathe, especially some of these players that's out here playing the entire 32 minutes.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of hard for players. They kind of have to follow the regulations. They can't have their masks too low or else they get taken out, and refs are even warning some of the players to put your mask up. So it's definitely an adjustment for every team coming out here and playing, especially in a sport that's played in a gym rather than outside. It's a little easier to breathe. So it's a big adjustment for these players.
Right here with the shot that was blocked, with the rebound was by Maya Kelly. Kicks it out to Sliz for another 3-point shot. Blackmore brings it in. She gets fouled. Basket no good. Fouls on Maya Kelly. That's her first foul of the evening. Nasty Blackmore at the line. She makes her first shot.
That's Avon's first free throw attempt since the beginning of the first quarter. So they're going to need to get to the free throw line a lot more, especially if they're going to stay aggressive down low.
Yes, they will. Second free throw is no good. Rebound by Mahia. Looks to Faenza. Faenza with the left-handed layup, no good. Rebound Standish. And she is fouled by, I believe, Faenza is going to be called with the foul here.
Three quick fouls here in these first 4 minutes of play for the Canes.
Yeah, that's her third team. That's also Faenza's third foul of the game.
30-second timeout taken by Avon.
And Avon calls a 30-second timeout. And I think we're going to do the mass break right after the timeout.
So it's essentially a minute timeout and free 30 seconds for both teams. Or
Yeah.
free minute.
You know, one of the points of emphasis that they wanted to make sure is that there's no instruction by coaches during these mass breaks. You know, some referees enforce it a little more than others, but they wanted to make sure it's just, you know, simply to be able to breathe and not get any unfair advantages for any other team.
Definitely, and I think the only thing that they're really going to tell the players is just to spread out, even within your teams. Like you can see, I don't really think you can see on the screen, but to where the players are sitting, everybody's kind of 6 feet apart. They got to keep their masks on when they're on the bench. So even during these mask breaks, they got to make sure that they're all separated just for protocol.
Yeah. There'll be no point if you take your mask off just, you know, just sitting right next to somebody, so.
Exactly, and I could feel like some people could kind of be a little upset with that, saying, well, we're a team, we practice together all the time. What does that mean? And I think that it kind of just has to do with the opponent. You're not really with the opponent. You don't know what they're going through or what their players are doing. So they got to be careful of how they come out with the other players and if they're exposed to anything.
Yeah, we got to reduce the risk of exposure while still allowing them to enjoy the sport. New Britain with its full court press. Going through slow. They get it up. Standish with the ball. And it is intercepted by Maya Sliz. Maya Kelly. And she travels.
I believe that's only the first turnover for New Britain so far. So up to this point, very clean game.
Avon able to break the press, gets it past the half-court line. Passes the ball around the perimeter. Very tight defense by the Lady Canes. Jocelyn Powers gets into the paint for a layup, but it is no good.
That's kind of been the one of the problems with Avon so far. Just a lot of missed shots, not just layups, but jump shots also. you're not going to really get points on the board unless you make your shots. So it's one thing that they're going to need to work on if they want to get back into this game, down 14 with a little under 3 minutes to go in the half.
Mejia with the three-point shot, no good. She gets it back for another three-point shot. She misses again. Avon with the ball, goes down the floor, is Ashley Blackmore, and she is fouled by Mejia. Blackmore will go to the line for two.
The Brenn's going to want to watch these fouls coming into the fourth quarter. Already 4 so far. I believe it's 7 when they get into the bonus.
Yeah, 4 to Avon's 1. It's a little flip-flop from the first half. So it need to be easy, especially after Mejia, she just missed 2 3-point shots. You know, you try to make up for it going down the floor, and then you get called with the foul. So being easy on those possessions.
Yeah, as a player, you're always frustrated if you miss a shot, and I feel like sometimes you take that out on the defensive end.
Maya Kelly down low, she gets a block one time, but then Standish gets her own rebound, and in her second shot, she draws a foul against Maya Kelly. So that's another foul against the Canes. And Falcons will go back to the line for another 2.
And also another offensive rebound for Avon. I believe she's up to double-digit offensive rebounds alone, never mind in total.
Yes, especially on that offensive end, and she makes her first free throw. And ref, I think that should have been a violation. She has to wait as a shooter. Wait until the ball hits the rim before you can leave that foul line. That did not happen there, but there was no call, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe you should go tell him, just take his shirt and just go referee. You know all the rules, apparently.
New Britain loses the ball as they try to push down the floor. Another turnover for the Canes as Avon starts to build a little run of its own right now.
Yeah, they do. That's already back-to-back turnovers so far for the Canes after 0 in the past 2.5 quarters. So being a little more aggressive, coming out in a press, and just really forcing New Britain's hand to make a play on the offensive end.
New Britain doing well on its full court press, and before they get the 10-second violation, Avon calls a timeout.
Avon takes a 30-second timeout.
He'll take 30 seconds, and we'll take 30 seconds. We'll be right back. New Britain will stay with their full court press. They just forced a timeout for Avon just moments ago. Into the paint and draws a foul is Maya Hall for Avon.
Yeah, you can see Avon being a little more aggressive so far. That's 3 straight free throw attempts for them, being very aggressive, drawing the foul, and trying to make their free throws at this point.
Layla Mejia called in a foul there. That's her 3rd foul. In a team 6, so now they'll be in a bonus for any additional fouls.
I believe that goes into the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken as well.
Absolutely. Maya Hall makes her first and cuts the lead to 10.
It's around this point and a little bit of the beginning of the fourth quarter where you kind of want to start making a run if you're Avon.
Yeah, it's a crucial part of the game right now. Keep this run going. It looks like, I believe they're on a 6-0 run right now. New Britain needs to try to stop that and get some points on the board if they want to continue this lead as Avon cut it to single digits with that second free throw made. New Britain works the perimeter. Shot by Kaylee Cahill. No good. Rebound Avon. 90 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Maya Sliz with a nice poke on the ball. Rolls out of bounds. She was the last one to touch it. Avon will retain possession.
You can hear one of the fans yelling at the ref, "Get out of the way." Or you can see some of the players were maybe looking to dive for that, but they couldn't because they were going to run into the ref.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. The ref is in the way, but they're part of the game. Shot up and off the glass by Jocelyn Powers. Maya Sliz looks to the middle. She looks for Nevaeh King. The ball is deflected. Deflection made by Ashley Blackmore of the Lady Falcons.
You see a little more energy coming out of Avon so far, being a little more aggressive as Maya Sliz.
Maya Sliz with a 2-point bucket. Trying to end that run. I believe Avon was on a 4 or 6-point run.
Yeah, we've seen a run for both teams. There was a 12-0 run at the end of the first half for New Britain.
And Avon, just when they started to gain some momentum, another turnover with a traveling violation called on Aaron Gary. Cahill getting double teamed, and Coach Piper does the right thing, and she calls a timeout. And that spot right there in the court is one of the most dangerous spots to get double teamed at. You know why? You got 2 defenders. You also have the sideline, and you have the half court line. So that's like 4 defenders, because those are defenders, right? When you have that ball.
Yeah, you're right. And to your point, which you know a little bit more about that subject, is you got to kind of watch that the half court line, because you step back and that's a turnover, and then you go out of bounds and that's a turnover. So I agree with you in that sense of there's really is 4 defenders rather than just getting double teamed.
Yeah. Or if you try to do too much, you're going to turn the ball over with a steal. So the best thing for a coach to do at that point is call that timeout if you have it.
And you know, and to your point, they have 4 timeouts remaining in the game, so they do have those timeouts to waste if their team gets into a tough spot like that, and they have the lead to where they don't really have to. They can essentially waste them to keep the possession. So a good call by Coach Piper.
Yes, they still have 4 timeouts remaining to Avon's 2. As Maya Sliz shoots a 3-point off the glass, and the bank is open for Maya Sliz.
That's her 3rd 3-pointer of the game. And she's already eclipsed her total points than last game. Had 16 last time out, and already eclipsed that thus far with 8 minutes remaining in the game.
Standish with the rebuttal as she gets 2 points down in the paint. Sliz with the ball. She says she's just going to take the shot. Shot is up, no good. Rebound by Silva. She shoots, it's no good. And Avon gets the ball back. 5 seconds remaining, 3 seconds. Mango with the ball. She shoots a long range, and that is no good. So at the end of 3 quarters, we have a score. New Britain up 37 to Avon 27.
And she'll be inbounding for Avon.
8 minutes remaining in this matchup between the Lady Canes and the Lady Falcons. Avon gets the ball first to start the fourth quarter. Aragoni with the shot, no good. Rebound, Maya Hall. She gets it. Shot up, made by Jocelyn Powers for a 2, and that cuts the lead to 8 for the Canes.
Yeah, and I wonder if this was one thing that Coach might emphasize to them. This is kind of a weird spot when you're in a position like this.
And Maya Sliz, who takes the ball into the left-handed layup.
She's up to 21 points on the game.
You know, when she wants to really get that ball into the paint, it's like she can't be stopped, so she needs to take advantage whenever she's able to. As Avon gets down the floor, passes it to Maya Hall. She shoots a layup, no good. A rebound, Canes. Maya Sliz with the ball as she slows it down.
Yeah, and like I was saying, this is kind of a weird spot if you're the Canes, because you don't want to be too aggressive to the point where you get a few turnovers, but you also don't want to be passive and also get a few turnovers. So it kind of has to be that balance of chewing the clock a little bit, but also being smart with the ball.
Maya Sliz with the shot off the mark. In addition to that, you have to look at the fouls that they have. So being too aggressive, you can get yourself in situations where you'll put Avon at the line. And I think the Lady Canes are going to try to avoid it all they can. As Standish goes up for the layup, and it is no good.
Yeah, and you can see that at that position, Jamiley Carter not jumping on her on the freshman for Avon, just keeping her hands up and hoping to avoid the foul so that they don't get a pair of free throws.
Avoided the foul, and then she was able to not capitalize on the basket. Sophie Mango did get the rebound on that, but she went out of bounds, and New Britain gets the ball. Mahia shot, blocked by A.D. Standish.
Lady Canes foul on number 12, Adriana Faenza.
Fouls on Adriana Faenza, and as we were just saying, every one of those fouls are going to go to the line. So now the Lady Falcons will go to the line for 1 and 1.
Yeah, and that's one thing if you're Coach Piper, you're going to want to express to your team is that you cannot give up a lot of free throws in this situation, especially with their medium-sized lead.
10-point lead for the Lady Canes. Maya Hall at the line. She misses her shot. Rebound is made by Maya Kelly. Maya Sliz with the ball. A lot of Mayas.
Been saying both of their names a lot tonight. Maya Sliz already up with 21 points for the Canes. Big showing out of her.
Yes, as she passes the ball to Kaylee Cahill, but she takes a step before she puts the ball down, and she is called for the traveling violation.
And as we've been talking about, as we've emphasized, a very clean game up to this point. Only a few turnovers for the Canes, but one right there just moved their feet a little too much.
Canes with the full court press. Avon looking to find somebody to pass the ball to. Gets it to Standish.
Coach wanted to travel right there.
Yeah, that was a close one. No call by the referees as they look for Standish in the middle again, off her hands, and it's a out of bounds against Avon.
That's a total of 14 turnovers for Avon.
Getting working, Maya Sliz passes it back to Kaylee Cahill. Shot is no good. Five minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Jocelyn Powers is in, no good.
Like we were just saying, another pair of free throws coming here for Avon. It's the last thing you want in this situation if you're the Canes. Give them free opportunities, some easy points.
Yep, fouls on Jamiley Carter. She'll send Shauna Mango to the line for 1 and 1. Yeah, and Avon still only has one foul in the second half, which is pretty interesting.
It is, because if you're a team like Avon, the last thing you want to do is give a team that's a 9-point lead on you easy free throws as well. And vice versa for the Canes, the last thing you want to do is give them some easy free throws. So very clean defensive game so far for Avon in this half. and just avoiding those fouls throughout the third and fourth quarter.
Mango makes both of her free throws and cuts New Britain's lead to 7. Or to 8, I'm sorry. 39-31. Kaylee Cahill with the shot, no good. Maya Hall on the rebound.
I'm a little surprised the Canes are being as quick as they are on the offensive end. You'd think that with a lead like this, they'd kind of want to chew a minute or two off the clock and make them come up and press.
Yeah, they're looking for Standish down low for Avon, and the ball goes off of her hands again. Out of bounds. Canes get the ball back. Falcons is going for a full court press. Yeah, Sliz gets the ball easily down, and she looks down low to Nevaeh King. She shoots high off the glass. No good. Rebound Avon.
That was another great pass by Maya Sliz.
Mango gets the ball easily to Lindsay Aragoni, who gets the ball for an easy layup and cuts the lead to 6.
Yeah, and you can kind of feel the momentum shifting a little bit towards Avon, being a little more aggressive and, like you just said, on a bit of a 6-0 run right here for Avon.
Yeah, and Coach Piper did see that run coming as she calls a timeout to try to talk to her team. I'm sure she's going to tell them, hey, take your time. You know, take open shots. You know, and play aggressive defense without getting a foul called against you.
Yeah, definitely, especially at this point. 8 fouls, I believe, if it's not the next one, it'll be the one after that. Is they get 2 free throws. It's not a one-on-one situation. So they want to make sure you keep your hands up, not jump, and eliminate those free throws for Avon.
Yep, slide your feet, hands straight up. So you can actually, we can't say play sloppy defense going down the stretch now, you know, with just a half a quarter remaining.
Exactly, especially on the offensive end. They had a very clean game in the turnover battle up to this point, and they don't want to give up any more turnovers than they have to at this point in the game.
So after that timeout, we have a mass break, and we're going to be back to you right after this mass break. New Britain with the ball after their timeout. Avon going with the full court press. Faenza with the ball. She looks up to Mejia, but the shot is blocked by Mango. Goes out of bounds. New Britain will retain possession. Ball's passed to Lee. Back to Maya Sliz. Layla Mejia with the ball.
You can see the Canes kind of penetrating a little bit and then slowing it down, having their guards bring the ball back out and just milking that clock a little bit.
Yeah, looking for a good shot. You don't want to take anything that's not wide open. They have no shot clock, so look for a good open shot and use as much time as you need. As you can see, the ref counting that 5 seconds. He was counting that rather quickly, too. Try to speed up the game when he sees that. And Layla Mejia right under for a nice 2-point lay-in.
Yeah, and like we were just saying, that took almost a minute off of the clock for the Canes, and it resulted in an easy layup. So,
should have been a backcourt violation there.
Scared me.
As Addie Standish gets an easy 2-point lay-in for Avon.
Thought something bad happened.
I'm just surprised that there was no call there.
Oh, I understand.
Sliz takes the ball. She drives into the paint with a nice floater for an easy 2-point right off the glass. New Britain looking to try to gain control of this game again after that nice run that Avon had. Avon gets the ball into the front court. Mango goes up for the left-handed layup. No good. There's a fight for the ball. Who comes up with it? None other than Maya Sliz, who gets down. Left hand, left side. In for the lay-in. As Avon calls a timeout to talk things over.
That's a big showing out of her tonight. 25 points. Looking to eclipse that 30-point mark.
And she definitely stepped up in times where it was most needed, especially just right here. There's 8 girls going for the ball. Who's the one that comes up for it? Maya Sliz. And she's able to go down and use her left hand for an easy 2-point lay-in.
Definitely, and it's not always about how aggressive you are on the offensive end. It's also how you do on the defensive end, because people talk about all the time turnovers turn into easy fast break points. So even if she's not scoring a lot on the offensive end, those steals from the defensive end is definitely going to impact your team going forward.
Absolutely. A fast break is some of the easiest points that you can score. So if you get that, you see that ball in the open court, you go down there and you take it.
Definitely, and I think that's a big difference between Avon and the Canes today, which was a lot more layups missed for Avon compared to New Britain getting out on the fast break and actually making their layups. And I think those couple amount of layups missed is really what was a turning point in this game, other than the turnovers.
Yeah, especially when you're taking long possessions, you're looking for that good shot, and you finally find someone right in the paint, right under the basket for a lay-in. You pass it to them, and it's no good. It gets devastating when you see that. But you always got to try to come back from that. And sometimes people look down on that when they see that they're missing it. But it's time to rally your team together and say, hey, we make those shots all the time. Let's focus, let's concentrate, let's make sure we get those easy lay-ins.
Definitely a good example of that's the freshman for Avon, the big center, 80 Standish. And I'm sure one thing she's frustrated with is the amount of layups that she's missed. But the good thing about her is this is only her first year in high school. So I'm sure one thing the coach is going to preach to her is, look, this is a bit of a learning curve for you, and you're going to adjust as you go going forward. And by her junior or even senior year, she's going to be way more advanced in that department.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm sure that she will also grow. She will also continue to work on that footwork, which is important for, the people in the center position, and looking for that easy basket, looking for the square, getting the right spot on the court where you want to stand. That's real important.
And definitely, especially, that's a good showing for her being a freshman and starting on the varsity team. That shows that she either has potential or she's just playing at a really high level. So that's one thing that
and it's a little rough, but New Britain turns the ball over. It goes over to Avon. After that, and previously there was a traveling violation against Avon, so 2 back-to-back turnovers for both teams as Avon gets the ball back with 1:22 remaining. A 10-point game, so it looks like Avon should start trying to pick it up and trying to get some buckets on the board. Still 4-possession game. They can do it, but they need to score soon if they want to try to get back in the game.
Yeah, and speaking of the freshman center, she's not in the game up to this point, so they're probably looking for a little more perimeter shots to kind of get the point total a little higher and try to get back in this game with a little over a minute remaining.
Yeah, and there's another foul against New Britain. Foul this time is against Maya Sliz. That's her first foul of the game. Yeah, and that's the team's 9th of the second half.
Yeah, and that just shows, especially to Maya Sliz's point, is very good defense up to this point, but no fouls up to this point. Her first personal, which means that she's playing very clean defense, keeping her hands in the passing lanes, and just making sure that she gets no fouls is going to affect her team.
Lindsay Aragoni makes her first. She misses her second, but the rebound is made by Maya Hall for Avon. Jocelyn Powers brings the ball into the paint, shoots no good. And we had a joint possession, so we get a jump ball on that play. And the arrow goes to New Britain Lady Canes.
And that's where those jump balls really go into effect, because you see right now that it being New Britain's ball rather than Avon's ball is a big swing for them, because they really needed a quick possession on the offensive end.
Yes, they did, and the foul is called with 45 seconds remaining on the clock. Foul is on Sophie Mango, but that's only their second foul. So if they want to try to put New Britain at the line to try to get back into this, they have 5 more fouls to have with under 45 seconds. So I'm not sure what their plan is going to be heading in.
Yeah, and you can see them kind of going into desperate mode right now, this is kind of the one time where you wished you had a little more fouls.
Yeah. Another foul on Avon. This is their 3rd foul. This foul is on Aaron Gary. And they still need 4 more before New Britain will go to the line. Well, New Britain gets the ball. They get it into the front court. Mejia with the ball, passes it back to Sliz.
Very
And another
smart.
foul.
Very smart on New Britain's end, not going for the easy layup. Pull it back out and make Avon foul you, and hopefully send you to the line.
Aragoni called with that foul. It's only the 4th team foul, so there's 3 more before New Britain goes to the line for the 1-and-1. Ball is passed into Sliz. Foul's made by Jocelyn Powers. That's the 5th foul, 31.5 seconds remaining. Ball goes to Sliz. And the foul is made again by Jocelyn Powers.
One more, and that puts New Britain in the bonus, which I'm assuming that's what Avon wants in this situation.
They're going to want New Britain to try to miss. They still have a 1-and-1. Avon's in a situation where if they go to the line again, they got 2 shots guaranteed. They get the ball to Maya Sliz, and Maya Sliz is fouled. Foul is by Gianna Godbout. And Sliz will go to the line for 1-and-1. For those, they need 5 more fouls. It took 20 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, that's a big thing for Avon. You know, the last thing you want to do in this situation is you do not want them in this situation to milk that clock. You want them to get to the line as quick as possible, and hopefully they miss a couple free throws. But 20 seconds off the clock and only 25 seconds remaining for them in about a 4-possession game.
And Maya Sliz makes her first shot, brings it back to a 10-point double-digit lead. And the second one is no good. Rebound is made by Jocelyn Powers with 20 seconds remaining in the game. Canes looking to make sure that they avoid any fouls. As Avon will pass the ball around looking for a good shot. Mango with the shot. 3-point shot is good. Cuts the lead down to 7. And the ball goes off the hands of Faenza, and Avon will get the ball back with 1.5 seconds left.
Great defense for Avon, but I'm afraid it's a little bit too late. Only 1.5 seconds remaining in a 3-possession game.
Mango, shot does not go off. And that concludes our game. At the end of the game, New Britain High School, Lady Hurricanes 46, Avon Lady Falcons 39. And New Britain breaks its streak of losses and gets its 3rd win of the season here against Avon.
Yeah, and the big story of this game was co-captain senior guard Maya Sliz with game high 26 points, and eclipsing her total from last game with 16 points. So a great showing by her tonight.
So she scored 10 more points in the last game. Last game they lost by 10 points. So it really shows when that happens, when you're able to get good shots, when you're able to finish down low, when you're able to get steals and cause turnovers and make your free throws. That was a big difference for the Lady Canes this evening.
Yeah, and I think another big thing to point out was the turnover ratio. Avon had 16 turnovers, vice versa to New Britain's. I believe it was only 4 turnovers. And we were just talking about their last game where they had way over double-digit turnovers. So it was a much more clean game on their part, and it resulted in a victory.
Taking care of the ball is definitely an important aspect you need if you want a winning team. Coming into the second half of the season, I think that's some of the things that they need to emphasize. They're going to be playing the same teams. They're going to be seeing the same teams again, probably going down as we have a small structure of about 6 or 7 teams that we're playing here this year. So it's very interesting. It's good to see a win because after you have several losses, it's good to get a W, just like it's good to see a bucket fall after you have a series of misses.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe it's only 2 weeks left in their season. And one thing that Coach probably preaching is not how you start, it's how you finish. So they want to end the season on the right note and have a positive mindset going into the playoff tournament.
Yes, and it will be interesting. Remember, this year we're just going to have the conference tournaments this year. As of right now, there is no state tournament. We think that that's going to still be in play for the winter sports as of right now. So, for the end of the night, thanks, guys, for tuning in with us tonight here live from Chick-Shea Gymnasium at New Britain High School. We had a final score of, I don't know the final score. They just took
I believe it was New Britain 46 and Avon 39.
Yeah, so a good win by New Britain. You guys have a great night on behalf of myself and Ryan Lipitsky. Take care.